Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sharon, and this is Classy Shades Designs.
Must be Tumbler Tuesday, so today I'll show you how I made this pinstripe rainbow ombre cup. Keep watching. So I went outside and I spray painted a metallic gold over this stainless steel 20-ounce tumbler, keeping in mind that this tumbler is straight, but it does have a small taper to it. While the tumbler was being dried, I also went to my silhouette and I cut on my cutter these stripes. And in the middle of the stripes, I put the word love, which kind of a fancy wording in the middle of there. So once I had it weeded, I took my transfer tape, and it's going to take me 2 pieces of transfer tape to lift this off because I only have half-page transfer tape. I encourage you to varnish it really well, especially if you decide to put a word in the middle of your stripes, and then you're ready to peel it off. Now, when you're applying the stripes to your cup, this does become a little bit tricky, even though the silhouette has a feature where you can make it taper, or what is it called, contour to the cup. I don't know. Anyway, even though it has a feature where you can taper your design, it still is challenging for me, and I find myself having to take that off and on until I get it straight, or at least straight enough for me. So I'm going to lift this off one more time and try to put it on, but work with it as slowly and as cautiously as you need to not rip the vinyl and to make sure that you can get your stripes on straight. Even after all of this, I still had areas where I had to go in and cut some of the stripes from the bottom and apply them to the top because it just would not go on evenly for me. Right now, I'm going to make sure that I have everything varnished down onto the cup well, and here you can see is where I'm adding some small strips so that the stripes go all the way up to the top. I haven't figured out how to get it done another way, but hey, whatever works for you works. Just make sure that you have it on very well and that you have them as straight as you possibly can get them, or let me say this, as straight as you want them, because this is a DIY project, and so it is however you create it. Now that we have this all done, I'm going to take this outside and I'm going to spray this white because I want the glitter to show up very powerful, and so with the white base it'll show up much better when we go out and glitter it. So let's go spray paint it white. Okay, so we have it spray painted, we allowed it to dry, and while that, when I brought it back in, I went ahead and mixed the epoxy. I'm doing a 1:1 ratio. I use Pro Marine epoxy, and so I am just spreading about 5 milliliters onto the cup. You really only need a thin amount because you're going to just use it as an adhesive. Now that I let my epoxy spin and level itself out, I'm going to come in with my first color of glitter. Remember, I'm doing the rainbow, so we'll come in with red because Roy G. Biv is the colors of the rainbow, right? I'm going to come in with red. And I think this red is a very pretty color, but when you see the other colors, you'll realize that this red is a little too heavy. It's too bold, but I'm using what I have. I didn't want to go out and buy anything, so I'll just use all the colors that I have here at home. To do the ombre, you'll sprinkle the glitter really close at the very first portion of it, but as you want to spread the ombre up, you just raise your arm or raise the glitter and then allow the sprinkles to get lighter. Now I'm going to speed the video up because I'll just repeat this 7 times for every single color, but the one thing I will tell you is to use a piece of paper or something to save your glitter fall off so that you can put that back into your glitter container and not lose that precious glitter, because that's money and you don't want to have to waste your money. Now you can see what I'm talking about here. Look at how pretty and pastel the orange is compared to the red, and even the yellow compared to the red. And wait till I put this green on here. It is beautiful too, and it's a soft pastel. Again, I am putting it on pretty heavy at first, and as I want to ombre it down, I'll just raise my arm up, raise up the container and shake it on there lighter. And because I have just enough epoxy, it's blending itself down into the next color. Now I'm going to keep on doing this and repeating this step until I have all of my colors onto the cup. Oh, God, that blue is so pretty, but it is much heavier than the other colors, but it's just gorgeous. Anyway, I'll keep doing this until I have all of the colors onto the cup, and I'll allow it to spin. I'll do this one more time. I'm not going to do it on camera, but you do want to make sure that you have a good color coverage. So repeat the ombre one additional time until all the slick spots are gone from the epoxy and until you have a really good strong color all the way across your entire cup. When you use the epoxy glitter method, one way you can tell that you need some additional glitter is if other areas on the cup look dry and there's an area that looks kind of like an oil spot, then you need more glitter there. Once I had the cup the way that I wanted, which you can see here, I have no oil spots, I have great glitter coverage on the entire cup, got everything all set. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to remove the stripes. Now, you don't want to wait for your epoxy to dry to remove them, because then they will be cured into the epoxy and you can't get them off. So when you use the epoxy method, the best thing you can do is put your gloves on for safety and remove your stripes right away. Now, when I peeled my stripes, remember I had the word love in the stripes. It didn't show up so great because I couldn't find all the places where the vinyl was. So what I've decided to do is just cut the vinyl out again, and this vinyl matches that gray or the gold that we spray painted the cup with. So I'm just gonna weed this out here and put this over where the word love should have been. There you go. You can always fix something. Don't ever be worried if something doesn't work out the way you want it to. Again, make sure, because of all of the fancy twirls and twists in this vinyl, to varnish it really well. Yep. Oh, good. We got it all off in one piece, and now I can just put that over the epoxy cup. Oh, I guess I didn't tell you that part. Once I let the glitter from the original epoxy dry, I went in with what we call a flood cover, a flood layer of glitter. I'll move the camera here so you can see. And that flood layer is just to seal all the glitter in. So now I can put my label or my word love, my new vinyl logo, over that flood layer, which is also dried. So this is a couple of days later that I came back and I added this vinyl name logo onto here. All right, I hope that makes sense. So once you put in, oh gosh, I wish I had recorded that, but let me tell you, once you do your layer of epoxy, you allow that to dry at least 4 to 6 hours. You shake off all your loose glitter. Then you can come in with a 15 milliliters of epoxy and pour and lay that over the entire cup and allow that to dry for 12 hours. Then you can work with it and add any of your vinyl decals that you want to add. And that's what I'm doing here now. I'm making sure to varnish this down really well again, because I do have all of those intricate cuts in there. So we want to make sure that it is on very good so that when I peel off my transfer tape, I won't take up any of those small pieces. Now that I have this on here, I'm going to epoxy it one more time, and here is the cup. It's absolutely beautiful. That vinyl matches the gold spray paint so well that you can't even tell that they were not, that it didn't come out the way that I originally wanted to. So there it is. Leave me a comment down below, ask any questions, and I'll see you in our next video. Thank you.